I had a friend that was staying in a villa, one of these race villas, and they said that we could use their kitchen one time. So I just like asked all the chefs I knew. I was like, right, everyone just bring a load of ingredients. So, like literally raid your walk-ins. So there was probably about 12 of us, or a lot of sail yacht chefs, and I got like a big long table out. We shoved all the ingredients on there. I'd kind of organised with a few of the other chefs, what are their specialities? Could they teach us some things? They would just had like a massive cook-off, but led a little bit by the chefs that would do the specialities. We did a massive cook-off over 2 days. We did sushi and pasta, and we did like a dessert workshop, and it was like really lovely.
Welcome to the Montclair podcast. This is Chris, your host. Today we have a special guest. Today we have Jemma Harrison. So Jemma is the founder at the Galley Gang. She's a yacht chef. She used to be a reporter in the UK. She's also launched a CBD tea brand called 420. And on this episode, we learn everything about Jemma, why she started cooking, what she's done over the past few years, how she deals with stress and being busy and running 2 businesses as well as working on yachts, all while renovating a house. So anyway, there's a lot to talk about. It was a fun episode. So let's get into it. This is Jemma Harrison. Welcome to the Montclair podcast. Today we have Jemma Harrison. Jemma, how are you?
I'm good. Welcome. Hello.
Thank you so much for taking the time to be here. We tried a couple of times to do the recording, but then there was always, things happening, life, basically.
Yeah, it was like ping pong back and forth, wasn't it?
Yeah. But now we're here, so let's make the most of it. Jemma, we've met a couple of years ago, like a bunch of couple of years.
A couple of years ago.
Yeah. But for the one that don't know you, can you just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about, how you got into working on boats and, what you're doing nowadays?
Well, I'm not doing much nowadays. I'm in that
That's
lovely
good.
kind of era of where you've just done a really, really busy, flat out summer season, finished in October. And I'm renovating my house here in Cornwall in the UK. So I'd say I'm not doing much. I'm busy, but it's not really chefing. But I started on boats. I worked in restaurants and kind of in cafes and bars and things like since I was 15, 16, like tours at restaurants or, front of house, maybe some like in the patisserie side. But I was never a chef, I wouldn't say, until I was like in my mid-20s. Because I almost thought it was, this sounds silly, but like an easy job, a too easy job to fall into. I thought I needed to go to like uni, and so I've got a degree, I've got a master's in journalism, and I went and I became a journalist for like 4 years after I finished my master's, and I on the side as my second job whilst I was studying things like that, I was always in kitchens, and I loved it, but I just didn't even look at it as a career at all. It was just something that blokes did, like big angry chefs, or if you got lucky, there might be 1 or 2 female chefs like in the patisserie department or something. But because I'm 44 in 2 weeks, when I was starting, it would have been, it was nearly 30 years ago. It just wasn't seen as a female.
It was in a nice environment. Now it's getting better. There's a bit more respect, a bit more rest, a bit less shouting, less pushing.
Yeah. And so, but I still think now I probably wouldn't love restaurant chefing. I've dipped my toe back in every now and again, but private chefing's the way forward for me for sure, and especially super yachts. I was working as a journalist, and then I went and took a sabbatical and did a chalet season in the French Alps. Loved it. Got a job as a chef quite easily there, and then I just really loved private chefing and chalets. And then the natural thing was to go down and work on the boats in the summer.
Why did you love it? Why do you love it?
I love the autonomy because I was in a different kind of chalet where I could pretty much make what I wanted. I wasn't following like a set. A lot of these chalets, you get given a 7-day menu and you just repeat. But I had a lot of autonomy with it, kind of like you do on boats. and I was like my own boss, and you know, I am better. I work harder for myself than I probably do for other people. So it's a natural thing for me to like working on my own in a galley or a kitchen.
Yeah.
And then I did 9 years of that, going summer, winter, in France.
Where did you
And
do the summers? You did the summer in the chalets in a ski resort, right?
winter in the chalets, in ski resort in Tignes, Val d'Isère, Les Arcs, Verbier. I did a kind of demi season there, and then summers down in Antibes and Nice, Palma, the
On
usual
boats,
mid
that
summers,
was. Yeah.
yachts. And then I kind of got a bit bored of winters. It's cold, isn't it? It's so cold. And then I found the
Well,
Caribbean.
once you used to work and to live in the sun, and especially
Yeah,
if you're on a boat that takes you,
yeah.
around the Med in the summer, and then you cross and go to the summer again
Oh my
in the
God.
winter.
First time I got to Antigua, I was like, what have I been doing? Like, oh, it was amazing. I was on a really good sailing yacht then, and it was such a lovely community, sail yacht community in Antigua is amazing. And I was like, yeah, this is for me. So then, since then, I've just been doing like, my last few gigs have been like longer term rotation ones. So yeah.
Yeah.
And I
Rotation
find
is always better. It's always easier to stay longer, right?
yeah. And I've kind of done like a few stages along the way. And the reason I started a chef school called Galley Gang, which is how you probably know me first, was it?
No, I think we met at this course in Barcelona
Oh yeah, oh God, yeah, of course we did.
10 good years ago, where we had some good chefs and some good,
Yeah, that
influences
was
and
great fun, wasn't it?
celebrity chefs,
Yeah.
which was this class came out of nowhere. I don't know how they put it together. I don't know why they didn't do it again. Maybe they didn't make enough money to pay for the chefs,
There
but
was
it
no
was
hands-on cooking, was there? That was the problem.
no, it was look, it was more to get close to these guys, which were like,
Yeah,
top chefs,
yeah,
get some of their recipes, get a
yeah,
photo for Instagram, for
yeah,
the
yeah.
gram.
Were we even on Instagram 10 years ago? Anyway.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I have some. That's what I'm
Okay.
telling you there.
Oh yeah, Geordie Rocker. What a
Yeah,
guy.
Jordi Roca. We had Gagan.
Yeah, Gagan. Great.
We had some
Yeah, that
some
was
other
really like
guys.
that was kind of like the launch pad for starting Galley Gang, actually, because I kind of thought, I could probably do this better. No offense
That's
to
yeah.
the
Is that where it comes from? Okay, so
yeah,
serious cooking. If you're watching, thank you.
yeah. Well, they were good, but there was just no hands-on stuff. And
Yeah, it was a
yeah,
different setup. So the
yeah,
Galley Gang, you've launched that. So was it the
it
same
was
year?
10 years ago.
So
The year after.
2015, 2016.
Yeah, the year after that, 2016, wasn't it? I've done like 9
Okay.
or 10 of them now, I think. I took
So
a
you go
break.
to this you go to this training that is no hands-on, and you
Yeah.
say, well, I can do that better. And then what
Well,
happened?
what I
Galley
learned
Gang.
from that 2-week course that we did, or 3-week course that we did in Barcelona, was that I learned more. I learned a bit from the chefs, but I learned more from like the other 30 yacht chefs that were on the course. It was like a real eye opener, because we were all just like
Yeah.
swapping recipes and like swapping ideas, and we were such a lovely community, weren't we? Just for that short blast of time, it was so
And you know
refreshing.
what, Gemma? I'm still in touch with a lot of them, actually.
Yeah, me too.
Funny enough, which I
Yeah,
don't, sometimes you don't keep in touch, but this
yeah.
actually worked in terms
Yeah,
of community.
it was good. Yeah, I really, I mean, I love Barcelona, so I went out quite a bit. We really
Yeah.
sampled the restaurants there as well, didn't we? It's a
Yeah,
great,
but it's a best place to do that. There's so many restaurants, so many bars, so many places to
yeah,
just to go
yeah,
out and enjoy.
yeah, it was brilliant. And actually, one of the first chefs that I had, oh God, now I'm gonna like completely forget his name. The Peruvian Nikkei chef.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sebastian.
yeah, Sebastian and his
Sebastian and Susie. I know them because
yeah,
they are on the list of the chef that
yeah,
I promote to go for special event for these wealthy families or on board super yachts.
yes,
Because I really like the idea of he would come and make the food, she would come with the the sake
tasting.
pairing and do
Yeah,
this tasting menu with sake where
yeah,
I think it's a great
amazing.
concept. And
Yeah, I'm still in
yeah,
touch
so
with him.
you had Sebastian on the first year.
Yeah, 2 times. Really good. He was really good, wasn't he? And such a lovely, lovely man as well. And yes, we had them. And the first one, Galley Gang, I did, it was just there was a load of, it was a really slow season in Bath and in Antigua, and there was a load of yachts just kind of hanging out in Falmouth Marina. And yeah, I had a friend that was staying in a villa, one of these race villas, and they said that we could use their kitchen one time. So I just like asked all the chefs I knew. I was like, right, everyone just bring a load of ingredients. So, like literally raid your walk-ins. So we just, there was probably about 12 of us, or a lot of sail yacht chefs, and I got like a big long table out. We shoved all the ingredients on there. I'd kind of organized with a few of the other chefs, what are their specialities? Could they teach us some things? Then we just had like a massive cook-off, but led a little bit by the chefs that would do the specialities. A chef called Troy. I think he's an octopus. Do you know Troy? A guy called
No, I don't know.
Liam, who's
Try.
on Adela. A load of us still friends of them. Cherie, that was on P2. And we did a massive cook-off over 2 days. We did sushi and pasta, and we did like a dessert workshop, and it was
It's a
like
great concept, Gemma,
really,
actually, because I know
yeah,
this is not what the Galley Gang is today, because you have
yeah,
more of a structure with guest chefs that come. But I feel like this idea was really good. If you can
yeah,
bring a bunch of chefs and you can make it, because chefs are hard to keep in one place.
yeah,
But
yeah,
if you can, keep 10 of them or 12 of them and say, look,
yeah,
we do a few days and everyone's cooking one
yeah,
service and teach us what you do best.
yeah. It was great. I still use some of those recipes that I got there. Yeah, but then again, one of the biggest things to come out of that was that we are all literally in the same boat. We all have that. All chefs like really crave to work with other chefs to like pick their brains, and it's sometimes you are quite alone in a galley, very much so, and you're quite separate to the rest of the crew, aren't you? So it's quite nice to have a bit of a vent to other chefs.
And also it's such a different job, because it's a very personal and emotional job to be a chef, I feel. And what you prepare, you have to touch people with what you do in your food. So connecting to other chefs is
yeah, it was lovely to meet a bunch of
yeah
chefs. I really enjoyed that. And then I just did another one in Antigua, then one in Antibes, then Palma and Antibes, and then Palma, and then it got more and more difficult to find really good kitchens and premises, actually. And so when I moved and found this, in fact, I was actually going to stop doing Galley Gang after COVID, because I was like, it's so much effort. When I was doing them in Palma, I was like loading up my van, driving to Palma with all this kit that I had to buy myself, because there wasn't a really good teaching kitchen or anything in Palma. I just hired a space above Olivia Market, and it was so. I mean, I made no money on it. Like, I think the first 6 Galley Gangs I did, the first 3 or 4 I like lost money on it, because I had to buy loads of equipment. I remember once in I think it was like 2018, I'd done all my calculations, pressed enter at the end, and I'd made €1.84. I was like, oh my god, I was delighted.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's
But now
do this
I needed
again.
to streamline it, and now it's great. It runs in Cornwall. I hired this amazing Prue Academy kitchen, and it's really great.
Yeah, it's much easier. It's much easier.
Yeah. And I don't need any kit, and it's half an hour from my house.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah.
So how often do you run the latest and the greatest version of the Galley Gang? Every
2 a
year?
year.
Once?
Yeah. Easter and October.
Easter. Okay. So before your season and after your season, because you're not tired enough after working on boats back-to-back charters. You were like, what else can I do to just get even more tired?
Yeah, I kind of regret doing the last one a little bit, because I came bang straight off this like heavy charter season this summer, and I had like 2 weeks at home to turn it all around, and then bosh straight. I mean, pulled it off, but I was knackered.
When do you start working on the Galley Gang? Like, let's say you have one in April, like you said. Do you start now? Or?
I'm doing quite a bit now. Yeah, I'm just kind of getting all the guest chefs in place. Just got a really good guest chef that I'm really stoked about. That said, I've been trying to get him for the last few years.
How do you get them?
Because he's ticked in. Lee Westcott, Chef Lee Westcott.
Lee Westcott.
Yeah, he's a Michelin-starred chef from London. He's worked with like Jason Atherton, Tom Aikens, and done starges all over the place as well. Yeah, he's worked with Gordon Ramsay at Claridge's, and he's really and so lovely. And he also works as a private chef as well, so he kind of knows the drill of what we go through, because it's all very well having like amazing chefs in, but if they can't like,
they need to give you practical recipes and techniques that you can actually use as a chef on your own when there isn't 10 of us in the kitchen.
Yeah, and you haven't got and the backup and a pot wash. So so that's good. So I start working on it.
How do you get these chefs? How do you approach them? And is it
hard
to get them?
on Instagram?
The gram,
mostly on Instagram, because all chefs have like chef pages, don't they? And yeah. In fact, I'd say pretty much, Yeah, nearly all of them I've got through Instagram, just messaging on there. Sometimes it's a long process, I kind of plant the seed. Like for Lee, I've been chatting to him for like a few years now. And he's just, when I tried to get him on a couple of years ago, he was just opening 2 new restaurants and he was like, absolutely no way. And then I just saw that he's started private chefing in again. And I was like, woohoo. And yeah, he was like, okay. Yeah. Stoked.
Awesome. Yeah, so that's one of your chefs. What's the how many chefs do you normally get, and how long is the Galley Gang?
It's 2 weeks,
Or the
so
course?
10
It's
days
2
of
weeks.
teaching, and we can have 10 chef students. They all have to be chefs already. Do you know what I mean? It's not like training people how to get onto boats. It's because I want it to be a collaborative experience where everyone kind of chips in a little bit and try and keep that ethos of how it like began. And then I normally have a couple of the chefs do 2 days because if they're coming down from London or Northern England, Cornwall, and they've got like a big repertoire anyway. Like Lee will do 2 days because he's got a lot to teach. And the fish and seafood guy that we have is a local Cornish chef. He'll do a couple of days because that's a massive topic that really needs covering and is really important for us. So yeah, maybe get 6 different guest chefs in, variety of topics, always bread, pasta, sushi, some sort of Asian or Indian.
Whatever's required on boats, really, because that's what you need to know. That's the styles and the requests.
And try and thread kind of plating and presentation throughout the whole course, always trying to improve that throughout the course till we get this like big tasting dinner at the end. So we do 2 weeks of training, and then we have, in order for me to be able to like spank loads of money on ingredients, we then put on a dinner on the last day for 20 guests, and they pay to be there, and it's a 10-course tasting menu, fish and seafood, and it means that we can it's loads of money on ingredients,
and it's a
we
collaborative.
can use what we're using.
You can practice the recipes and do it one more time, and all
work together. It's good.
Yeah,
it's really nice. That's my favorite part.
Because it's the end of it. It's the end of it. And you have everyone that knows each other now. It's not like the first day when everyone is a bit shy and doesn't want to talk to the one next to them. Sounds amazing. I know last time I went to the Galley Gang, I couldn't stay on the last day, so
shame.
I have to come back.
Yeah, please do.
Maybe I can come back and I can do a special episode of the podcast at the Galley Gang.
Yes, you can. By the end of it, everyone's so loud and rambunctious and like, oh God, it'll be hard to contain them. It's like
that's good. That's what you want. I mean, you want it to be lively and
it's brilliant. Yeah, and it's weird because I just end up making loads of mates, and I actually really genuinely miss everyone when they've kind of left Cornwall. I'm like, I tend
back to quiet.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a busy place, right? So is it a village? Is it a town?
Well, I live in Falmouth, which is because Falmouth's quite a yachty hub as well. Like, there's a big Pendennis shipyard here, so a lot of the bigger sail yachts come in to they have their shipyard periods here, so it's still quite a yachty place, but it's not big. It's no.
So how many chefs since you've started since 2016? How many chefs do you think you've been welcoming into the Galley Gang?
Well over 100, because some of them were bigger at the beginning, maybe 150-ish.
Wow.
So it's good, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah,
it is.
I'm pleased.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
How many of them do you keep in touch with?
Quite a few, actually. And what's really nice is, sorry, you're a yacht recruiter as well, so I shouldn't say this, but occasionally some captains will message me like, oh, Jem, do you know anyone that could just do this short gig? And I'm like, actually, I do. I've got like, a little file of facts. I'm like, speak to this last. I mean, I should monetize it, shouldn't I? But I don't know. I feel like
but if you do it, maybe it's not gonna work because maybe the captain will be like, no, you just
But like, I don't mind like if you pop up and say, oh, I need a chef. I don't mind like handing them to you as well. Do you know what I mean? And saying this girl is brilliant. I like that I can be a genuine reference for people as well, because I've seen them all work, and there's literally hardly anyone that has been on the course that I wouldn't recommend. Though we tend to get like just real good eggs.
It's very politically correct, Jemma.
Yes.
I love everyone that came to the Galley Gang, and I will love everyone that comes.
Well, you get some characters, but
I mean, they're chefs.
Yeah,
they need to be crazy, right?
Chefs are people pleasers in general, aren't they? So
yeah, they are.
Yeah,
so Jemma, from journalist to chef, why do you not like being a journalist?
I did, but I liked being a journalist, but I didn't like being in a studio the whole time. I worked for broadcast, I worked for TV and radio, but I mostly did radio. And it was, I read the breakfast news, and it's getting up at 5 o'clock, getting in there, reading the news. Starts at 5:30, 6, out by 2 o'clock, and it was just like it was like an early morning office job, sitting
Yeah.
down, churning it out. And I still write quite a bit, and I used to do a lot of like ghost blogging and things like that. And in those 9 years when I was going from summer to winter, in the in between stage, I would sometimes go and freelance. I worked at BBC York and BBC Derby for like quite a bit over that period, just doing like a month or two here and there. So
Yeah.
I still haven't paid my student loan off though. Really, really pleased I bothered to do that.
So you're still writing now?
A bit, not
In
really.
between, running Galley Gangs and having
Yeah,
busy
yeah,
season, and then renovating
yeah,
your house and going rowing
yeah.
for 2 hours.
I think it's good to know how to write, isn't it? Even just like in your communication. So
Yeah. Yeah. Oh well, ChatGPT is here now, right?
yeah, I know. Bastard. It's doing me out of a job that I didn't have.
But hey, look, to be honest, ChatGPT is good, but you still have to correct it at the end. So with
Yeah,
your skills, you probably correct it better
yeah,
than me. So at the end,
yeah,
you'll be a better writer,
yeah.
better final
And
product.
also, ChatGPT uses the word elevate all the time, so you can always tell when someone's like ripped it straight off ChatGPT. It's got that.
Yeah, and it just speaks like a dictionary. It doesn't
Mm,
speak like you would in a normal sentence. Most of the words
yeah,
are very well spoken or very proper, but it's not how you would communicate nowadays.
no, it's not
So
how a Northern English bird would chat. So you have to change it up. Yeah.
yeah.
Anyway.
Jem, you've also started another business on the side because you are
Yeah.
not busy enough. Tell me about your tea brand and
Well,
how
have
did
we
you come
got
up
any?
with this?
Well,
Yeah,
here we
do a
go.
bit of a yeah. Where's the brand? Where's the logo?
Da-da-da-da-da. I don't
You
know.
can be
Can you
the
see that?
sponsor of this show.
Is that going back to front on there, or how's it look?
No, it's good. No, it's good.
Um. Okay. Good. Yeah. 420. It's. Do you know what I started? And chefs will relate to this. It was when I was working rotation on this Russian boat. It was during COVID actually. They live aboard. It was full on mental. It was like 7 a.m. in the morning, finishing at 11, 12 o'clock at night, no breaks, flat out. It was rotation, so you could get away with it. It was fine. But I just couldn't switch off like at night. And that I'm so shit the next day if I don't get like a
Yeah,
good wedge of sleep. Like, I know I don't. Despite the fact I'm drinking a red wine here, like when I'm on board, like I can't drink or anything, or because even a slight hangover or slight tiredness, I don't give a crap about what I'm doing the next day if I'm like that. So I
yeah,
have to be like really on my game, just like be enthusiastic about it. And so the only thing that was like made me be able to switch off was taking CBD. So I was taking like the drops and gummies at the time, and it would like knock me out. Like I'd get amazing sleep from it. And I drink a lot of tea anyway because I'm English. And I thought, aha, I can put
aha,
CBD
tea and
with
gummies.
tea. Yeah, and 420. Good name. So I started a
Very good
CBD
name.
tea brand. Thank you. Yeah, which
So
is
how
going
long
all right.
did it take you to from the idea to a box like
Ages.
this in your hand?
So I've been selling them really for the last 2.5 years. I kind of sold like in this format. I was selling the CBD tea before, like when you just sell it to your mates and stuff like that. But I had to get I don't know if you know much about the CBD business, CBD industry in the UK, but
I'm
it's
sure it's highly
classified.
regulated.
It is regulated now since Brexit. It's all such a mess. So yeah, I had to get licenses, and it was actually more of a struggle than I thought. But if it's something's not a struggle, it's not worth doing. I don't think it means not
Yeah.
many people are doing it. So yeah,
Yep.
there's not many CBD tea brands at all in the UK, so it's doing all right. I don't think I've made €1.86 yet from it though. I'm still at the stage of like putting money into it, but I
Yeah.
reckon it'll come good. Yeah.
What do you think you would need to take that to the next level? Do you need a
Do you know what I
distribution
need to
deal?
be?
Do you need someone?
I need to be in one place to focus on it,
Yeah.
which is what I'm doing now really. So I'm Cornish based. I don't think I'm going to be doing much
Shark
yachty
Tank?
shot watting.
Shark Tank?
Yachting? What's that?
Dragon's Den. Sorry, in the UK it's called
A
Dragon's Den,
Shark
right?
Tank, yeah. Yeah, I did apply to go on Dragon's Den, actually. I got through the first 2 interview stages with the researchers, and then, yeah, they just dropped me like a dead weight. Maybe in a few
Do it
few
again.
years.
Do it again. Do
Yeah,
it
yeah, I
again.
will do. I will apply. I need to be here to focus on it. Like I kind of had to push it to the back burner last summer when I was on this ridiculously busy yacht for the summer.
Yeah.
But I needed to do that as well because I wanted to like save some cash to renovate my house and whatnot. So it's just the stage of life I'm in now. Now I've, I've got savings. I've got my house is renovated. I'm kind of settled a little bit and able to focus on working on what I've built so far rather than having to dash off and earn the cash to pay for a new roof or whatever. So it's quite a nice position to be in now.
No, but it's amazing. I mean, look, you've got the Galley Gang that is running. Maybe you're not profitable yet, but at least you're building experiences and contact, and
it's worth doing though. Still, like now, it's good. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so that's amazing. It took it's like every business, I suppose. It takes some time before you become
9 years.
profitable. And what you do now is not what you did 9 years ago. Like I'm sure the format, the expenses, all the planning, you're probably miles away from what you started with.
Yeah, and I'm such a better chef now because I kind of started it because I wanted to learn, and so now I've just given myself like a really amazing training. Do you know what I mean?
You're creating your own school. It's amazing.
Yeah, I've done stages at my own house basically. Just got the chefs to come to me.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Do you feel like one day you'll build a proper school? I'm not saying that it's not a proper school.
No, I know what you mean, but like have my own premises and things like that.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I will. I almost feel like it works really well now. I don't have massive overheads. I can just rent this space, which is handily free at the right time that I need it because there's no kids there anymore because school's off. It's amazing. It's like Bake Off in there. Everyone's got their own little. You've been in.
I know. I remember.
Little areas.
It's almost like running a business in an Airbnb.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
You only pay when you need it, and the rest of the time you don't pay for it.
And also, it works with yacht chefs because they can only be taught at that time. Do you know what I mean? Inter season. Yeah. If I was running a full school, I would have to like appeal to a completely different clientele. Which I don't know. So, nah. I might do some teaching at someone else's school. Do you know what I mean? Now that because I'm teaching for the first time at this Galley Gang. Woo! Yeah. Stepping behind the counter.
So what are you going to teach?
I am going to do one of the setup days because it became apparent last workshop. I was getting asked a lot of questions and I've never really thought of myself as like that good a chef. I'm really good at organizing. Like I'm really good at like putting the pieces of the puzzle together. But then I realized
that's the most part of being a chef. I want to say,
Gemma.
Because if you organize, if you put the right thing at the right place, and you are able to assemble the same way.
Yeah. It's mad, isn't it? And then I realized that I knew all the answers to all these questions, and I was like, huh. And then it was one of the girls that was like, Gemma, why don't you teach? And I was like, I don't think I'd be any good. And they were like, are you kidding? And I was like, oh, okay. So now I'm going to do like, which I think is really valuable, like a yacht chef prep day. So on the first or second day, we might do bread on the first day because that's a nice, easy kind of build up to it. And I can kind of get everything prepped for me. Maybe on the second day, I'll do like a kind of go through everything that I would set up pre-season or pre-charter, like tuile mix, herb oils, different crumbs, I don't know, different garnish, the stocks, the sauce bases, pestos, things like that you should have in your pantry, freezer or fridge that, beginning of a season or beginning of a charter. That'll just really help you, like quick pickles or, ketchups and things like that, so that you can just literally whack out a dinner, drop anchor, and within half an hour, you've got like a really lovely meal.
Because this is so important, having all this stuff in place, like you said, in a Ziploc or in a backpack bag in the freezer.
Yeah.
Okay, I know a lot of people think freezing produce is not good and it damages the flavor and all, but these people have never worked on a yacht, because when you're in the middle of the Atlantic or in the middle of like nowhere and you have to pull something out of your back pocket,
you've got some part-baked gluten-free, dairy-free muffins, and then all of a sudden you've got a guest that comes on that's like gluten-free, dairy-free, and you're like,
and at the end of the day, if it's
you don't-
homemade and you have an amazing recipe and you've just done the preps,
yeah,
it's not finally cooked, or like you say, if you pesto, if you make it like basil oil or
yeah,
something,
yeah,
just have that in the freezer and you can open it, and within like 2 minutes it's
yeah,
defrosted and you can just use it.
yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
changes
It's
your life,
really
changes your
important, isn't it?
dish. Yeah.
That
But that's the only way. That's the only way you can succeed, Gemma. I think as
yeah,
a
I
yacht
think so.
chef, because you can't do everything yourself.
No,
Or no, let me scratch that. You have to do everything yourself, and you can't
yeah,
do everything at the same time. So you have to
yeah,
have a lot of preps
yeah.
prior to
And you've
your
got to
day or your week.
reuse stuff, haven't you? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's almost like knowing what you can reuse, like what sort of thing. You know, you might say have a pesto. You know that in 3 days' time you're going to make that into a dressing, or you're going to
yeah,
put that with some crew
100%,
food, and it's like
100%.
knowing what you're. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I don't.
no,
Do you
for
know what I
sure.
really hate is when you go on a yacht and then the captain goes, "Oh, we don't eat leftovers," and I'm like, oh, "You don't know, like everything that a chef will make for you is basically a leftover of guest food." You know that
But
pesto
that's great.
pasta.
Then you can ask the captain. You say, great. So we have no budget on crew food.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, oh,
Because that's the base of cooking. You should be able to
yeah,
reuse and recycle everything you have,
yeah. We're not
as
saying
long
we're
as
going to
it's
churn out.
safe and
Yeah.
yeah.
My the crew on my boat from this summer, they were like, "Jimmy, is that bloody ragu again?" I was like, "Yep." Like, I made a
No, it's
massive.
no, it's not ragu. It's a pie now.
Yeah, yeah. Oh no, that's a soup now. Like then back into a
That's a
sauce.
goulash. Yeah, but look, it works. It
I
works.
like used to make massive batches, ziplock it off, and I'd have like slow cooked meat in the freezer. Do you know what I mean, or whatever?
Look,
Anyway.
Gemma, I love making cakes, and I made a lot of cake in my career when I was a chef.
Yeah,
But there's still a time when you don't have time,
yeah,
and if the guests want a cake or something, and you go to the bakery, they have a cake. Well, you just buy the cake from the bakery, and then you just put nice decoration on it with chocolate and stuff,
yeah.
and it looks like you've done it yourself because you've done the decoration.
Yeah. It's like who's
So
making their own croissants these days? No one,
I was,
surely. If you're in
I
France, oh
was,
yeah, you're
I
French
was.
then.
No, it's not because I'm French. Funny enough, but I was working for a Spanish family, and
Do they
Mister
love them?
wanted he wanted croissant. First, I was getting away with the first few years with the part baked or the frozen one.
Yeah, yeah.
That was great. But then when they was like, "Hey, can Chris make croissant?" I was like, "Of course he can."
No? Yeah.
So I
I
tried
could.
and I tried, and they were terrible. And yeah, it's a long story, but at the end, I had to make them myself. And I don't advise anyone to make fresh croissant because once you start, there's no going back.
And also that's like an hour of your day that you're
Yeah,
not
every
getting
day,
back.
every
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
For
I
something
did
that
a stage in a
for
patisserie.
something that the guests will really love the first few
Yeah.
weeks, and then they will just be like, no, not
Then it's
today.
just
I'm
a
on the
basket
diet.
on the
And
table.
then you
Yeah,
just go into the crew mess for the crew,
yeah,
like an hour after breakfast when it's been
yeah,
sitting outside and drying, and then you're like, yeah,
yeah, yeah,
there you go, fresh
yeah,
croissant for you guys.
yeah. I had to
Enjoy.
get up at 4 o'clock this morning for. Nice
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
No,
I
but
did
it is a lot of work.
yeah, it is. Yeah, so I did a stage in a patisserie in the French Alps, and thinking, oh, I'll learn how to make croissants and that. And they didn't even make them themselves. And I was like, what?
There's
They
a
made
reason
them
for
at
that.
the main bakery.
Honestly, it's so many variables, so many things that can go wrong, and
Yeah,
also it takes like the staff has to know how to make it. And if the
yeah,
baker leave tomorrow, they might not find someone that can make the same croissant. So what do they do?
yeah,
The
exactly. I
alternative is to
did
find something that is pre-made to the right level by a
yeah,
good,
good stuff.
factory. I don't like the word factory, but like
No,
by a good processing plant. I don't know how you want to call it. And then
artisanal bakery called
yeah,
Metro.
an artisanal factory. You mean
Macro.
macro? Yeah,
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, no one was doing that.
yeah.
We did it at Galley Gang, what our lovely baker. Did you meet bloody hell, I've forgotten his name, Native Grain Cassio, the baker that we had in. Were you there for that? It's
No, no, I
lovely.
don't
He's
think I did.
got a bakery here, and for one of the first ones that we did, I was like, I think everyone would be really interested in like croissants. He was like, are you really sure? And so we did like half a day on croissants. After that, everyone was like, nah, I don't really need to
No,
know
I'm
how
not
to
gonna
cook
do
these
that
then.
again.
I was like, oh, okay, that was a waste of time then. No one even give a shit about learning. So.
But Gemma, I feel like there's a few things that you never do on yachts just because no one asked for it or you don't have time. Like,
Yeah,
like making your own stock, which is amazing
yeah,
to do. And if you have time, go for it. It's always the
yeah.
best.
I do it if
But
I'm doing a big soup or a ramen or something.
yeah, Yeah,
But
then you would have it, of course. But I mean, like a proper like dark veal stock, like a demi
yeah,
glace. This stuff
no,
that takes like 3 or 4 days to make, and it's
it's
gonna
on a
boil
boat.
for
You
like
can't do it.
48
Yeah,
hours, and then you have to reduce and
yeah.
yeah,
And you can't leave stuff on the stove. Do you know what I mean? Like you're on gimbals or you're on. It's
yeah.
not really practical to make that. And also, is it Bone Brothers? They make really good
Yeah,
stock.
yeah, but
Yeah,
that's my point. Is like you're better off as a yacht chef, and that's an advice for everyone watching or listening.
yeah,
Is just find a product that has been made properly by
yeah,
someone in a controlled environment, which doesn't mean it's full of processed stuff or it's
yeah,
full
yeah,
of preservative, but it's
yeah,
just been made properly, like you said, the Bone Brothers that make this amazing demi glace, and they make like lamb jus and chicken
yeah,
jus
yeah.
and
It's really good.
all the stocks, and then you have that, and you just break it in half from the freezer. You just put it in a pan,
Yeah,
you
really good.
boil it for a few seconds, and you've got your sauce.
Yeah,
You can just it's just a base, then you flavor it with
yeah,
whatever you want, but it just saves your life, and it just
yeah,
brings amazing sauce. Then it's just you add to it and you make it,
yeah.
you elevate it. See what
You
I said?
need to know elevate ChatGPT. That you can use elevate in this.
Okay, good.
Okay, but not in the way. It's knowing when to cheat, which isn't really
It's
cheating.
not cheating, it's not cheating.
When to work wisely.
Look,
Yeah,
there's an example for you. Pesto.
yeah. I always make my own.
Me too, because it
Yeah,
tastes horrible no matter where you get it, unless you're in
yeah,
Genova in Italy or something,
yeah.
and you go to the store and you come back and it's like nice
Yeah.
pesto with bright
Oh
color and
yeah,
stuff.
true.
But
I'd do that.
if not, if you just open a jar, like a glass jar, and it goes
Yeah,
like, it just
yeah,
it's just
horrible.
pop when you open it. It's
Yeah,
horrible, and this
yeah.
is like a million
And
miles
it
away from
takes
what it should be.
3 seconds to make because you can. I mean, you're not supposed to. You're supposed to chop it in pestle and mortar, aren't you? But you can just waz it in the
That's what I do as well. That's what I
mix.
do.
Yeah.
Um,
And then you can make
yeah,
the vegan one with the yeast flakes instead. So it's actually great. Very versatile little
yeah. You can make a lot of stuff, and
yeah,
good
yeah.
appliance or good equipment is good for this kind
Yeah.
of stuff, because if you have a Thermomix, which you know
Yes.
about it, because I think at some point you were selling Thermomix as well, if
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember well, on the
Pre-Brexit.
side.
Yeah, well, I sold shitloads of them because
Did you?
yeah, loads to yacht chefs because if you are in the middle of the sea and you need to get because Thermomix used to do this really annoying thing where you had to have a demo in order to buy one, and I'm like,
Yeah.
so I went to them. I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, can I just sell them without doing a demo or pretending to do an online demo? They were like, yeah, all right. So I was getting like yacht chefs messaging me like, I need a Thermomix like literally tomorrow. I was like, all right, post you one out, and that was fine until Brexit because I was posting them from the UK. Actually, my mum was posting them because I was away working. And then it was like
Family business.
15. Yeah, my mum's a bitch. She and yeah, it was just too much faff getting it across out of the UK with like tax and shipping and customs forms and that. So I had to knock that on the head. But that was all right. But I made enough money.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Pay for your house
Yeah.
in Thermomix. Not
What were you
quite.
related for?
Not quite. But my point was, it wasn't about your business, your Thermomix
No.
dealership business. It was more
Yeah.
about this little
Sorry.
NutriBullets. Have you
Yeah,
had
they're
one of
good.
those? They're
Yeah.
amazing. Like they're fast. You can
Horses
clean it
and
very
salad
quickly.
dressing.
You can pop it in. You just leave it on. That's the lid on top. It's
Yeah.
amazing for pesto and all these quick
Yeah.
recipes.
Yeah. An ice cream machine. Love them. A little Magimix one. I don't really get on with packagettes. I just think it's a very specific thing.
To be honest, it's not an ice cream.
No, it's not. It's a shaving.
It's shaved ice.
You don't
It's
need
what
it.
it is. It
Yeah.
looks from the distance, but it just melts so
Yeah.
fast unless you
Yeah.
put a ton of
Yeah.
stabilizer, aka
Yeah.
gelatin inside,
Yeah.
or one other stuff. And
You always get a little ice cream machine, don't you? I felt like I needed to be able to be using the packagette, and I did use it on a couple of boats, but it was really more for show. And I just was like, oh, this crap. But anyway.
But you know what I used on my last boat for the last years was I was using the pacojet. I would paco, because that's actually a term, pacoing. I would
Yes.
paco the sorbet, and that was mostly for the sorbet, just
Yeah.
before the guests come, and have
Yeah.
the sorbet in a little bowl ready, and then I would not use it again, because on a
Yeah.
boat you often wait so hot outside that if
Yeah.
you scoop it out using the pacojet, you just
Yeah.
put on your bowl, you go outside, it goes
Yeah.
like all liquid.
Yeah.
So it doesn't work. But what I was doing is I was doing my sorbet, and I was
Yeah.
like passing in a paco, and then
Yeah.
just using it like once to make the
Yeah.
sorbet, and then that was it.
Yeah. Yeah. They're a big noisy piece of machinery, aren't they? But that it's fine if there's 2 or 3 of you, I think, going in a galley. But yeah, I don't know. Wouldn't be my first
It doesn't
choice.
replace an ice cream machine. That's
No.
for sure.
Because you can't have right. Somebody, if anyone's listening, how do you have like a chunky
No one
ice
is
cream?
listening, Gemma. No one is listening.
Hello. They will soon. By 2026, someone will answer this question.
Yeah.
How
420, 420.
yeah,
Sponsored
yeah.
by 420.
How do you get chunks in packagette ice cream? You can't, can you? It's about making smooth, and then you'd have to add it in and stir
Yeah,
it.
that's what you do. That's what you do.
Just
You
seems
make it, but it's so like runny and liquid after you comes out of the
yeah,
packagette that you just put in a bowl, mix it, and put it back, and that's it.
such effort. Just get an ice cream machine. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But if you can have both,
Nobody's got room for both. Or on a, we're not just for yachties, are we? On this podcast, we're for
no,
private
not
chefs
just for
too.
chefs. So enough with the chef's talk.
Okay, let's chef chat.
Gemma,
Yeah.
you mentioned imposter syndrome quite a few times on the form
Oh yeah, I
that I
did.
sent you before the show. Do you have it?
Not anymore, but I did quite
Yeah.
badly because, and I think
As a journalist?
nah, I was quite a good journalist. Straight away. No, but as a chef, I did because that was because I didn't know what other chefs were doing on their yachts. All I'd see were these on Instagram, like amazing photos of their beautiful dishes. And I'm thinking,
Yeah, which they
yeah,
never
it's
serve
got
to anyone
light,
because actually they
doing
don't have
well.
time and the
Yeah.
light is terrible in the galley and there's, yeah.
And I just thought I must be doing an awful job. And I mean, I'm sure on some charters I did do an awful job, but I was younger and didn't know. But now I think, do you know Mikhail Swindles?
Yep.
It's
Yeah,
a
we spoke about him
beautiful place.
with Nina actually.
Yeah, beautiful. And but then I've worked out that there's like 2 or 3 in his galley. Great. I mean, he's a lovely man. Not taking that away. And then some of the guys, Paul Kavanagh used to do open amazing, beautiful plates. And they're like, really high end, super well trained restaurant-y chefs come in. They're there to do the guest food. But when you're on
Yeah.
a 60-meter sail yacht, you're doing 12 crew, 12 guests. I mean, you're not sleeping, you're in a minor breakdown every now and again. Like, I just really thought that there must be something wrong with what I was doing or how I was approaching it, that I just couldn't get I was never, I only just in the last 2 months set up a private chef Instagram for me. I never had one because I never used to get photos because the jobs that I work for tend to be like sell yacht or, like,
But
I'm not
still,
a,
do they not ask for, oh, I suppose maybe you
yeah, but
get
I
the
just
jobs
had like
from
on my
like
CV or,
friends
things.
and people that know you or.
Yeah, and I did have some lovely photos. I'd done a couple of photo shoots that I just used to send out like with my CV and stuff if I needed work. But I would normally, I'm not a tweezing tiny things on a plate kind
But
of
you don't have to
chef.
be. You don't have to be.
No,
Look, the
that's
Instagram
fine.
account. I think a lot of people are
Well, I have to
misjudging
be.
the advantage of having a chef's portfolio on Instagram.
Yeah,
It's not about showing up how amazing your tweezing skills are and
yeah,
how many micro herbs you can put or
yeah,
flowers you can put on
yeah,
everything and gold leaves like I've
yeah,
seen today on some
yeah,
photos on someone else. Um, it's just about showing what you do, what your style is, and if it's an
yeah,
amazingly plated caprese salad, or if it's sushi that you made that looks actually super colorful and there's a lot
yeah,
nice presentation and stuff. It
yeah,
just gives people an idea of what you do.
yeah,
It's not to show off.
yeah.
It's
Well, that
it's
was
so
me.
important nowadays. You need to have a visual because, like you
Yeah,
said earlier, all the chefs that you invite at the Galley Gang, you find them on Instagram because chefs are also so visual and the food is very
mhm,
visual. So if you can promote yourself by showing some photos, you should do
yeah,
it.
yeah. Exactly. You really should. And you don't get a flavor of. I think what you need to do as a chef, particularly female chefs, because we haven't necessarily come through all these restaurant, training and like had all this huge like training in our background. A lot of them maybe come through to the industry like me, straight into private chefing and realize, wow,
Yeah.
we love it. I think you need to really lean into what you are good at. And I've realized what I'm really good at, and fine, it's taken me like 15 years, is understanding what the guest wants, talking to them, like realizing what they say,
And that makes you a much better
making
chef
it
than
better.
most of
Yeah.
the
I've
rest
got
of the
no ego.
industry because if you can talk to the guests, you can understand without filter, without
Yeah, yeah,
someone in the middle, translator or
yeah.
whatnot,
You
and
get a
you're
bad
gonna.
taste too. Oh, that's terrible. When they come through the galley and you have no clue what their chefs actually want. That's I always make sure to go and actually chat to the guests. And yeah, I've got no ego about, if they want something that is not up my alley, I'll just make it, but and I can tweeze stuff onto plates if that's what they really want on a chart and they wanted to have like
Yeah.
a tasting menu and things like that. But my thing is like big, colourful, healthy, nutritious, really
Yeah.
tasty plates. And you might get some. I think luxury is very different to different people. You'll get billionaires that they don't necessarily want a, you know, or singing or dancing chef that's going to just do tiny plates of food. They might absolutely adore the fact that you get on super well with their children. The kids are in there making food with you, and they can all sit around and have a laugh over their dinner. And that's luxurious to them because it's like a holiday, time out. They're away from their stressful lives. And so I feel like that's what I can offer. And I shouldn't be ashamed of the fact that I'm not a tweezy chef.
And to be honest, Gemma, being able to plate the food amazingly is great, but it's not gonna save you as a chef. It's just gonna
No.
make you shine for a second until they try the food. When on the other side, if you're actually really good with flavor, you're really good with creating amazing food that's well seasoned, well cooked, or you understand what they want and you can make it because you've got exactly what they wanted or what they felt like.
Yeah,
it's fine. Like at the end, they just want delicious food, like everyone else, like the crew does as well.
Yeah, that's what I'll be teaching the Galley Gang. I think on my day, I'll be like just trying to get across them to like, take what you're good at and really run with it. Okay, obviously learn other stuff along the way, but don't feel bad that if you're
if you have recipes from your grandma or from your mom or stuff like those are the best recipes. Like you can elevate it, but no, I think those recipes are real, and this is what you had with your family, and this is those are comfort food. And even the billionaires, they want that.
Cheese on toast. Baked beans on toast.
What cheese? What toast?
Cheddar.
Oh yeah, cheddar.
White Tiger Bloomer, of course.
Amazing. All right, I challenge you to post on Instagram cheese on toast.
Yeah, so good. Do you know what my go-to snack is when I was like really stressed last summer? I would just go in the fridge and I'd have the crew fridge and I'd get the sliced kind of Emmental or whatever, and I'd just get a spoon of pickle and roll it up, and I'm like, oh. And that's what I would eat. Nice. You're making all this food for like crew and guests, and you're just eating cheese and pickle.
Yeah, but I understand. I do the same. Chefs usually eat very, very very badly. Yeah. They spend so much time cooking that the last thing they want to do is cook for themselves. And they just want to go, the toasties, or they'll go like, okay, how can I solve that hunger problem the fastest possible with the least effort?
Let's have a round of applause right now for the old jambon fromage baguette in France. With beurre. It is, honestly. That's the first thing I get when I land in Geneva and I'm driving to the Alps. There's a little roundabout. It's got like a little Chevalier boulangerie, and they do a Comte jambon beurre sandwich.
But it's the best combo. I mean, it works.
Yeah.
In terms of flavor, in terms of texture, it's amazing. Yeah. Like, it's just really good.
Yeah. I mean, I could churn the butter. I could cook the ham and slice it.
What for? What for?
I love it. I love little homemade butter. Yeah, anyway. That's my imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Unnecessary, I think.
So, Jemma, do you always stay busy?
Yeah.
Do you like to be busy?
Not really. I just seem to have fallen. But I don't know what to do when I'm not busy. So, but this is the stage of life I'm in now. I'm trying to not be as busy. That's why I'm like settling into Cornwall a little bit. I'd like to do like the odd freelance gig here and there, because I love cooking. I love being on a boat.
So hang on. You started your sentence by saying, this is what I'm trying now. I'm trying to not stay busy. And then you're like, and I'm going to do a bit of freelance here and there.
Yeah, but here and there, because before I would be like, I'll go and do 2 months of a race crew chefing. But I'm not. I'll do like 2-3 weeks. And then I can enjoy it because I know I'm coming back. And I'm only going to do 2 Galley Gangs a year. And then I will do my tea. That's all right, that, isn't it? Yeah.
Let's get back to the tea. 420. How many flavors do you have?
4. I've got them all. Here's the more. So I've got English breakfast. Delicious. It's an Assam Ceylon blend. And then this one is my favourite too. This is I don't. Can you see it very well? This is naughty. It's like turmeric, galangal, ginger, black pepper. Like a green tea in there as well. So
this is not available for people outside the UK, right?
I can ship it.
You're gonna have to find a way around this, because How are you going to get rid of that massive stock of tea you have in your house?
No, I've got 28,000 tea bags arriving on Monday. Yeah.
Did you buy more? Last time we spoke, which was a few years ago, but you were like, "Oh, I have a massive stock of tea in my
no,
garage."
I sold out twice. So it's like going
Amazing.
well. Yeah.
Okay.
But the reason I haven't got any money from it is because it's sold out, but I've reinvested to get like, a bigger batch. So this is my biggest batch now, 28,000. And it's with a new supplier. So I import the tea myself through a broker, and we kind of work through the flavors and stuff. It's amazing. I love tea. So, and I'm working with this amazing tea sommelier almost. And so we're like just tasting tea back and forth and sending. And I import the CBD from America and send it to this importer, and he blends it all. And then I've got a new tea packer, which is just over the border in Devon, and they make all the tea for like Harrods. Although Harrods is having a bit of bad PR at the moment.
I haven't heard, so let's just ignore it.
Let's ignore that then. Yeah, so they make all the tea for like Harrods and Selfridges, and like really, they're like a premium tea packer, if there is such a thing. So I'm really like excited about the product now. Like it's been through a few iterations, and now like I'm working with a digital marketing agency as well. So hopefully you will hear more.
Awesome.
420, because
so.
it's very small at the moment.
I love the concept. I think also coming from a chef, you would have the best idea, the best palette to make amazing flavors,
and good at stress. And this.
So would you have to maybe have a warehouse in Europe to be able to ship?
You can buy it actually. So, oh my God, they're going to kill me for not even saying this earlier. Froggy Gourmet. Cut. My lovely friend Kate, who works at Froggy Gourmet, imported a load, and you can get it from that provisioners. So if you're in France or Italy, they'll ship some out to you. There you go.
Anywhere Froggy Gourmet delivers, I guess.
Yeah. So I've basically got a distributor in France. It's slow there though, because literally I've done no marketing. It's just been sales in the UK and stuff. But hopefully, this is my grand plan, and it's delicious.
Yeah. Do you bring the tea onto each one of your Galley Gang?
Yeah.
You should. No, but you should. This is your platform as well. Yeah. And to be honest, you should ask every chef to do one dish with the tea.
Yeah. Well, we thought about doing like a lovely minty, like mint tea ice cream and stuff, and maybe for the dinner, CBD mint ice cream. Yeah. Not in the package yet, because we hate it. Instead, it's in an ice cream machine. Yeah, this is our nighttime one. This sells out all the time. It's got like valerian and passion flower and stuff. This is the best one. Very sleepy. Anyway, enough about me.
I'll put a link on the show notes.
Yeah, do. That'd be amazing.
Of all your
we do free samples as well. If anybody in the UK wants a sample of it, I'll just ship some out to them.
And if you're not in the UK,
tough.
We cannot ship it.
You go to Froggy Gourmet.
Exactly. You go to Froggy Gourmet. Gemma, which one of your business do you prefer? Or if there was only one that would, last and...
They're really different. Galley Gang is like...
That's why. It's not an easy question, but I'm sure there is...
Kind of people. I think Galley Gang, because I'm a very sociable person, and it's chatting to people, and I really think it does make a difference to come on this course in terms of how they feel about themselves working on yachts. Do you mean like what I was saying about just chatting to different chefs and realizing that, actually, I can do this. Or that's one of the biggest things. And it's sociable. And 420 is very much a hard slog at the moment. I'm in the early stages of it, and it's a lot of just sitting down at a desk.
Yeah. Does this take a lot of your time? Yeah,
it does now, because I've just been working for a long time trying to get the new format and the new. I feel like I've turned a corner with it, and now the fun part starts with like marketing and stuff. So the plan with 420 is for me to be as hands off as possible. Have it in a warehouse, have like a third party logistics company.
Never happens. Whoever thinks you can have a business, whoever thinks you can start a business and be like, it's a passive income. No,
I don't think
it's a passive income that takes 15 years to set up.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? 420, I'd like to be able to one day just be like sitting in Indonesia in like a hammock on a laptop, just processing orders, and then just getting my surfboard and running into the sea, and then I'll be like 60 years old by the time that happens. Might even be a good surfer.
Sounds like a plan. It sounds like a retirement plan. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? I don't believe in retirement, because I feel like you still need to do something. Yeah. Otherwise, you just, you're
I'd love to be one of those people that you're the same though. You have like so many, You've got so many fingers in pies. You must have like 100 fingers. That's in English.
No, but like I'm trying to channel all that craziness in my head into one thing, and it's working now,
Yeah,
which is Montclair Chef. But I
yeah,
have, of course, I've got like next step is this, and next step we can do that, and we can
yeah,
and later we can do this, and we can start this
yeah,
second side business. And
yeah,
but it's fine. This is how I function, and I think it
yeah,
helped me as a chef to be so quick to think about a
yeah,
million things at the same time. It helps keep track on everything, but
yeah,
it's also I think from the job. Like I speak to a lot of chefs now, and I always ask them what do they do to relax, and if they can relax, and a lot of them are saying nope, I cannot relax
I go out for
because
dinner. Yum.
you spend so much time in the kitchen, and kitchen is not there to train you on how to relax. It's the opposite.
Mhm.
If you relax, you are lazy, you are not helping the team, you are
Yeah.
put aside, and you are you're removed from the kitchen basically. So I think it's tough as a chef to learn how to relax and to be able to relax, and it's takes some time.
Mm.
And yeah, it's
What do you think came first? Because I think all chefs are really similar. We're like quite high energy, fraught, can't relax. Were we like that first, and that's why we became a chef? Or because we're chefs, we've trained ourselves to become like that?
I think for me, I became a chef because it was quite early. I was about 15 years old when I started, and I
Yeah,
think I was already thinking like this, so it gave me an advantage on the other
yeah,
chefs around.
yeah,
But then definitely you kind of grow with the job, and you become more
yeah,
obsessed as well. For example, if you work in a Michelin star restaurant, I can guarantee
yeah,
you're going to become obsessed with Michelin stars and Michelin star chefs and recipes. And
yeah,
I had a stage in my life when I was just on a weekend, after doing 17 hours a day in the kitchen, on the day off that I had per
yeah.
week, I would go to the
Weekend.
library. I would
Ah,
go to the library and read some cookbooks, and go to
yeah,
the bookshop and read the magazines about food and recipes. And
yeah.
it's an
Obsessed with
obsession. Yeah,
food TV shows.
yeah,
I love Great British Menu. That's where I got a lot of my chefs from, actually. I look on Great
yeah,
British Menu, see who's good. Like when we had Kirk Hayworth on. Well, actually,
yeah,
he got on Great British Menu after, didn't he? And then Tom
yeah.
Shepherd. Who else did we get? We've had another one from that's been on Great British Menu. What's his name? Anyway, by the way, they all end up there.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's a good show. It's a good show. No, but
Yeah,
yeah, just to go back to what we were started talking about, relaxing. I feel like
yeah,
it's hard to learn how to relax when you are under pressure to deliver and
yeah.
to
It
work so
really
many
is.
hours in a kitchen or any other environment. It's not just a kitchen. You can be working in a hospital and somewhere else when it's
Yeah,
people put pressure on you. You put pressure on yourself.
yeah.
But
I'd love
yeah, I
to
do
do
like
one.
to stay busy,
Yeah.
but I'm trying to not be so busy anymore.
When did you last have a holiday?
Not so
Like
long
a
ago.
holiday?
What's a holiday? Is it when you do
Yeah, no.
nothing?
Yeah. Well, or where you actually actively book a flight somewhere to go and do something that isn't work.
The thing is, what I do now, I can work from anywhere, so there's always a little bit. But I see what you're saying. But
I have
now
never.
that I have a daughter, so she's almost 6 years old, and obviously the holiday is mostly spending time with her. So I would say not
Oh,
so long
that's
ago.
quite nice. If I
Yeah,
think
it is. It
having
is.
children
Yeah,
would make you well, you've got
it
to go
makes
there.
you a bit more calmer, and makes you more like, okay, let's
Yeah,
maybe not focus on all these things that I thought was
yeah,
important before.
yeah. Well, lovely. Well, that's my answer then. I just need to bosh a kid out. No.
What other project you have, Gemma? Talking about, the brain working fast, and do you have any other ideas or business that you think you
It's got
might
house at
launch?
the moment. No, no. I'm going to try and stick to Galley Gang and the tea. Oh, I start a new job tomorrow. Oh God.
I forgot to
Sorry.
say, yeah.
Yeah. So tomorrow, it's just part time whilst I'm in Cornwall, and work. My friend has this lovely boutique hotel down the road, and she needs someone to help out. So I'm going to do like 3 or 4 days a week, just doing
Mhm.
breakfast for them. It's only like 8 rooms. It's like a really gorgeous little hotel. Gonna
When
just
was the
go.
last time? When was the last time you took a holiday, Gemma?
I haven't. Yeah. I think after the renovation's done. But what I don't want to
No,
do,
no,
right?
not the next time. Not the next time. When was the last time? Because now
I
you're
went to
thinking like, oh yeah,
Morocco.
I will take a holiday after in the future,
I went to
maybe.
Morocco last January
Okay, good. For
for
work?
5 days, but I just worked the whole time because I had like 420 on the go then. But that's it. I did book a flight and go somewhere with the aim to relax.
But you didn't. You worked on 420 instead.
It was nice though.
But it was
No,
a different environment, so it counts. I think it counts.
thank you. It's been so
Does
good.
it?
Yeah. Yeah. So tomorrow I start work just for a friend in her lovely hotel, the Sandy Duck. Because what I don't want to do is just burn through all my savings living. Do you know what I mean? I need to like just keep ticking over.
Yeah.
So that my day-to-day, at least my day-to-day costs are covered, so I don't have to go back and work on boats. You have to do that, don't you, when you've got a new business? You've got to like just keep your head above the water
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, I when I stopped working on yachts, I'm not, and I'm still not considering going back on boat. I don't create that option in my head. It's no way, because otherwise I feel like I'm going to lose focus on what I'm achieving here.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
What about you? Do you still enjoy working on boats?
Yeah, I really like. I've got quite a lovely kind of nostalgia for it. You know, when you get on a really lovely boat and you love the crew and the galley is immaculate and you've got lovely owners and you know what I mean, and then you get a massive fat tip at the end. Woo! It's lovely. It's so nice having like the best ingredients at your fingertips, isn't it? And people are happy with what you provide. But then also, like, I think this summer job that I just did last summer, I loved the crew and the captain's amazing. Like, everything was great. Guests were amazing, but it was so full on that I finished it in October and I was really burnt out for a few months. So I didn't think I'd ever get back to wanting to be on boats, but it's now I've had a bit of time. I'm like, oh yeah, I've got a nice nostalgia for it. So
yeah. We tend to forget about the hard stuff and we just remember more of the good stuff.
Yeah. But financially, I'm in a much better place than I was last summer because I sold a house. I had another house up north. Long story, I was trying to sell it. Interest rates were flying up and I couldn't get rid of it. So I was paying 2 massive mortgages for 2 years. But now that's gone. And so now I don't have to work. I mean, I have to work, but I don't have to go and work on a yacht. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's nice. I could pick and choose my jobs, which is nice.
That's the best way. That's the best way. And you're going to end up having better jobs and better boats and
and not
they're
staying.
Probably going to offer. Well, that's what you think, but they're going to offer you full time because you'll be like, no, I'm just here for a few weeks, and they'll be like, oh, but hang on,
a long time.
Yeah.
I'd like to get on a boat in Antigua actually this winter because it's.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to be possible because I've got too much going on here, but maybe next.
Is that going to be before or after your holiday? After once your house is renovated?
Oh, house won't be renovated for another 2 months, so looks good though. Massive kitchen coming.
Woo-hoo. All right, Galley Gang in your kitchen then.
I could do some teaching in it, but not 10 chefs. But I would maybe do one-on-one. Who knows?
You can do a super high-end Galley Gang, you know, the Galley Gang Gold or something. Just 4 chefs.
Yeah. Yeah.
The premium.
Yeah.
Awesome, Jemma. That was, I think that was an awesome conversation. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, that was fun.